Here's a simple DIY welding table. I went ahead and made it kind of tall because I like to lean my elbows on there and actually weld standing up. So it's easy table. I mean, I'm an amateur, so it came together fairly well. And here are the tools that I used. Tape measure, speed square, some clamps, magnets, welder, and this little bandsaw. Worked awesome. Cut all the angle iron. Stick around till the end. You won't want to miss the major lesson that I learned as an amateur welding this table together. So let's get to it. Let's see what it took to make this table. So at this point, I'm just actually cutting all of the angle iron down for the top and the bottom of the table, and I go from there. But yeah, so my next step is going to be squaring everything off, tack welding it, and then squaring off the bottom shelf, tack welding that, and then going back and welding everything together, and then I'll figure out the height of where I want to put that second shelf. But yeah, let's get to it. So as you can see, the notches will actually allow it to lay flat and give us a flat surface for when we get ready to actually finalize the plate to the table. So here's what we got so far. I got the top plate, bottom plate, pretty much tops and bottom of the table pretty much done. And I'm going to actually now go ahead and try to get these set on there to try to actually make it a table. We'll see how it goes. Now what I'm doing here is just pulling out the straps so that I can get the legs super tight to the bottom portion of the table, and that'll give me a nice weld. The next step is to figure out how to weld the casters to the bottom of the table. The casters that I'm using are actually a little too big for the angle iron, so what I did was I butted another section of angle iron next to it and just welded it right there, and that way it gives me a wide enough platform to actually weld the casters to the table. That's the one little thing with this old welder, is that sometimes the feeder just does not want to feed the wire correctly. So I have to move around and just get it to work right. This plate is a little bit thicker, but I wanted to have an edge out where I can actually clamp some things on. The way that I was able to actually attach that ledge to the side of the table was to basically weld some more angle iron right underneath it, so that it would just hold that little shelf for me. So I got the table almost done. Don't judge my welds. I'm just pretty much learning, teaching myself. But that's kind of what I did at the bottom to support the casters. I didn't want to bolt them in. I just figured I got the welder out, might as well just weld everything together. And table came out tall, but I kind of like it because I think that thing is still hot, but I can pretty much lean on it now. Have one leg up here, lean on it, and I'm really, really comfortable, you know, doing whatever I need to do. So if it turns out that it's too tall for me later, I'll just cut it down and, you know, lower it. So this is it, pretty much done. Table came out nice. I kind of like how tall it is because I can really rest my elbows here nicely, comfortably, and just get comfortable and start welding wherever I need to weld. And if it ends up being too tall later, if I decide, I'll just cut it down and lower it. But nice and solid. Might give it a couple tack welds right in here. Other than that, I like it. Well, here's the final product, guys. I ended up taking the casters off the welder and sticking it underneath the table, and I ended up with a nice little welding station. Well, hope you guys enjoy the video. There's a couple things I learned here, and the biggest one is cover up when you're welding. The sunburn will get you.